Let me tell you something. If you ever hear someone say, it's just a little chalk, what's the harm? Believe me, you haven't met someone like Karen Whitaker. I swear, if HOA presidents came with a warning label, hers would have been a bright red sign. But let me back up a second. You want to know how I ended up staring down the kind of woman who could turn a 5-year-old's rainbow drawing into a federal case, who thought rules were more important than people, and how my little girl's life hell, our whole neighborhood got turned upside down just because a grown woman decided her authority meant more than a child's happiness? It started on one of those perfect Saturdays. The sun was out, the world seemed fine, and I was in the kitchen making coffee, thinking about nothing except whether to mow the lawn or just let it go one more week. Then I heard it, that voice sharp enough to slice bread, shouting outside. I look out the window and there's Karen. Short gray hair, pearls, that kind of perfectly pressed outfit that tells you she irons her pajamas, screaming at my daughter Lily. Lily, who's just 5, sitting cross-legged on the driveway, blonde hair shining, drawing rainbows and flowers and chalk, completely in her own world. And Karen is losing it. This is vandalism. No chalk on the driveway. Those are the rules. She's waving around the HOA manual like it's the Bible. And my little girl just looks up so confused, holding on to her blue chalk. But my daddy said I could draw here. You could see her lips start to quiver. I mean, she's 5. What's she supposed to do? Take it to the Supreme Court? That's when Karen crosses a line. She grabs Lily's arm, yanks her up, chalk falling everywhere, and I snap. I'm out that door faster than I've moved in years, yelling, "Get your hands off my daughter." Karen just looks at me cold as ice. "She's breaking the rules, Michael. You'll get a fine. And I'll make sure the HOA knows you can't control your kid." She says it like she's doing me a favor. Lily's crying. I'm holding her close, and Karen struts off like nothing happened. That night, Lily can't sleep. She keeps asking if the mean lady is coming back. I tell her no, but in my gut, I know Karen isn't finished. I was right. Next thing I know, we're getting hit with fine after fine. Grass too long. Mailbox needs paint. Lily leaves a toy in the yard. $50 here, 100 there. She's making it her mission to make us miserable. But what Karen doesn't know is I'm a district attorney. I spend my days dealing with bullies. Still, I had no idea just how far she'd go. Turns out everyone on our street had a Karen story. Mrs. Chin next door. She fined me $300 for planting the wrong color roses. Mr. Rodriguez down the block made me cut down my fruit tree, said it was too tall. Nobody stood up to her, she ruled by fear. But I decided no more. I started keeping records, photos, every fine letter, anything I could use if I needed it. But I should have protected Lily better. One Tuesday, I'm in court working a big case trying to put away a bank robber when I get the call from Sarah, our babysitter. She's sobbing. "Mr. Dawson, something terrible happened." Lily was blowing bubbles in the backyard. Karen came in screaming, said bubbles were a violation. She grabbed Lily, shook her, then pushed her. Lily hit her head on the rocks. There was so much blood, she won't wake up. I can still feel my hands shaking as I sped to the hospital, running every red light, just praying. Dr. Martinez meets me at the door. "Your daughter has a serious brain injury. She's in a coma. We don't know if she'll wake up." I just sit by her bed looking at those tubes, her little curls all matted with blood, and promise her daddy's here, "Sweetheart, I'll fix this." I file a report with the police. Officer Williams seems uncomfortable. Karen says it was an accident. Says Lily tripped, the babysitter is lying. I can't believe it. My 5-year-old is fighting for her life, and the woman who hurt her is sitting pretty at home. But Karen's been HOA president for a decade. She's got friends on the force. Nobody wants to cross her. But that's fine, I know how to build a case. First thing, I install cameras everywhere, hidden in the trees under the roof. If Karen steps foot on my property again, I'll have it on tape. Then I dig into her past public records, old HOA complaints. What I find blows me away. She's pulled this stunt in 4 different neighborhoods, always ends up HOA president, always leaves a trail of misery. Poisoned a neighbor's dog for barking, destroyed another's prize roses with weed killer, but always slithers away before anything sticks. She's a pro at being untouchable. I start leaving notes in her mailbox typed from random computers. "I know what you did." I watch her get jumpier, checking her locks, looking over her shoulder. Still, none of this helps Lily. I'm at her bedside every day, talking to her, reading her stories, praying she'll wake up. The doctor says it might help. I tell her about the birds outside, about how everyone's rooting for her, about the promise I made that I'd make the bad lady go away. Then a break, Tim Bradley across the street calls. Michael. I checked my security cams. I saw Karen sitting in her car outside your house for an hour before she went into your backyard. Not just a spur-of-the-moment rage, she planned this. Tim sends me the footage, Karen glaring at our house, then storming in, then running out minutes later. I take it to the cops. They shrug. Doesn't prove she did anything. I want to tear my hair out. So I dig deeper. HOA financial records. Maybe she's dirty. Sure enough, she's been embezzling for years. Fake invoices, checks to a shell company, almost $50,000 gone. Now I've got leverage, but I need the smoking gun. That's when Mrs. Patterson, the sweet old lady behind us, says I heard yelling, then crying, then quiet. Saw a woman with gray hair and expensive clothes hurrying through the alley right after. I get Dr. Martinez to confirm Lily's injuries are consistent with being pushed, not just a fall, but I still need an eyewitness, and fate throws me a lifeline. Little Carmen Rodriguez, 8 years old, shy as a mouse, finally tells her mom she saw everything from her window. The mean lady came in, yelled, shook. Lily pushed her. Then she looked around and ran away. I sit there nearly crying with relief and anger. With Carmen's testimony, the video medical evidence, Karen's history, and the embezzlement files, I walk straight to the DA's office. This time, Detective Kim is assigned tough, no-nonsense, specializes in child abuse cases. She takes one look at my evidence and says, "We've got her." I watch from my window as police cuff Karen on her porch. She screams about conspiracies about being a victim. At trial, Karen's lawyer tries to spin her as a misunderstood pillar of the community, but the jury doesn't buy it. Carmen's testimony, Tim's footage, Dr. Martinez's expert report, Mrs. Patterson's account, and the mountain of financial proof bury her. The jury takes 4 hours, guilty on all counts, 15 years in prison. You know what justice sounds like? It's a judge slamming that gavel, Karen screeching, "This is a conspiracy," as she's dragged out in cuffs, and my daughter slowly, painfully learning to smile again. The neighborhood blooms after that. Pink roses, fruit trees, kids drawing wherever they please. Lily, still fighting headaches and nightmares, slowly gets her courage back. The day she picks up a piece of chalk again and draws a rainbow on our driveway, I'm not ashamed to say I cried. But the world doesn't stay peaceful for long, does it? 6 months later, Detective Kim calls Karen's sister Janet is making trouble, calling from prison, sending her to harass us. Janet, it turns out, is just as mean criminal record. Same cold smile. She shows up on our street, taking notes, circling like a vulture. Restraining order or not, she keys my car, dumps, trash stalks us, tries to scare Lily all over again. I fight back, more cameras, a private investigator, even a voice recorder on me at all times. Finally, I catch Janet threatening us on tape, clear as day. Detective Kim arrests her. At trial, the jury's quick. 3 years in prison for Janet. She glares at me, mouthing, "This isn't over." But for the first time, I believe it actually is. The neighborhood heals kids, ride bikes, families talk in the street, nobody's scared anymore. The HOA elects new leadership people who actually care. They even name the park after Lily's garden. Every year we go, Lily draws her rainbows for all the kids who never got to before. She grows up brave, becomes a lawyer, fights for other kids like her. Karen dies in prison, Janet moves far away, and peace settles in at last. And sometimes, late at night, Lily still asks me why some people are so cruel. Because they think hurting others makes them strong, I tell her. But you proved them wrong. You showed what real strength is. If you ask me, sometimes the smallest acts of defiance, a little girl blowing bubbles, a dad refusing to back down, are what change everything. Sometimes justice is messy, slow, and loud. But when it finally comes, man, there's nothing sweeter. So let me ask you, what would you have done if you were in my shoes? Do you think I went too far? Was justice really served? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your stories. Tell me, where do you draw the line between community rules and real justice? Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that when you stand up to bullies, even the ones hiding behind HOA bylaws, you give everyone else a little bit of their freedom back.